Bethany Manctalo here. Welcome to our Millwall fan show with some new voices, but the same focus. Just everything Millwall. Enjoy!
Welcome to the 2024-25 series of Millwall No One Likes Us Talkins, our Millwall fan show. I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us Talking team of Dave Hart, Phil Coleman, and Steve Warren.
Not everybody likes them, but they don't care.
Dave, welcome mate, you okay?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks, Myles.
Good. Phil, how about you, mate?
Yeah, that's fine, Myles. Yeah, nice to see you, Dave. Thanks, Steve.
Steve, what about you? How are you?
All good, mate. Nice to see you, Phil and Dave.
Dave, we'll start with you. Neil Harris expects to have a full squad before we return from our next international break, which is, oh my God, only a month away. What impact do you expect from those coming back into the selection options?
Well, it's something that's a rarity to have an actual full squad, but it's something that to relish really, because you know when I look at it, I can't wait for Coleman to be fit and come back, because that lad is going to be, well, I think, pivotal to our season, and you know, with Langstaff coming into his own, Ivanovic, hopefully he's going to progress more. He's got a lot of potential, so I can't actually see Bradshaw getting back into the attack. But it's just great to be in that position where you've got everybody fit and give the manager a headache for selection. Phil,
I was intrigued by your mention of October 13th, 1979, a game between Oxford and Millwall. I said I knew, but in fact, obviously, I did not know. Could you share the story?
Yeah, obviously, I follow quite a few Millwall fans' Facebook pages, and believe it or not, there is a Russian one. There's a Millwall Russian fan Facebook page, and they post on this day, and I look at it quite a bit. And I had a look at the list of on this day where Millwall were and what they were doing, and it was the 13th of October 1979, and it happened to be the 13th of October the other day, and I knew that date. It stuck in my mind because that was the day I scored my first ever league goal, and it happened to be for Millwall. And I had a fantastic 1979 because obviously we won the FA Youth Cup. I made my debut. I played a few games, and on the 13th of October 1979, that was my first league goal. It was Oxford away. We beat them 2-1. I came on as a sub really quite early, after about 15 minutes, for Dave Memmott, God rest his soul. And John Mitchell scored the other goal, I seem to remember. I can remember the goal like it was yesterday. I went into the centre of midfield under strict orders from the manager, George Petty, to just sit in front of the centre backs and hold in midfield. So I wasn't going to do that. I went charging forward, took a pass from Nicky Chatterton, who was in the centre of the park with me. I half-thighed it and half-handled it into my path, and then absolutely whacked it in the top corner from 20 yards. So, yeah, it was a bit of a belter for your first goal, and remember it like it was yesterday. I also remember turning around and looking behind the goal, and our fans are sort of like burning flags and scarves. I just seem to remember a bit of a bonfire and flames behind the goal up in the roof. So, yeah, great memories, and yeah, I recommend it. They post up, and I often look if it's anywhere between sort of 1979 and when I finished in 88, yeah, on this day. So that's where it came up from, Myles.
Phil, you made that goal sound so bloody easy. Steve, I bet you knew that, didn't you?
Well, I might even have been there, I think. I'm not absolutely sure, but I may well have been at that one.
Well, young Daniel Kelly, who we signed from Celtic, is being outed by a prominent clickbait online football magazine as departing the Den in January on loan to either a League One or League Two side. What would be your thoughts on such an assumption, particularly as we, hastened his arrival at the Den by paying more rather than waiting until January? What would you make of that, mate?
Well, I think it's an interesting observation, but in reality, I think it is what it is. You've described it as clickbait, and I think it's probably that. For a club like ours, who really have a limited budget, buying a player to then loan out would be financially foolish. I can see it where a new manager comes in, and there's a player that doesn't fit. That's kind of understandable. I'm thinking of someone like Nisbet. He clearly upset Harris at the end of last year. But I assume they've seen something in Kelly. And I think at the start of the season, we had Billy Mitchell injured, Leonard's playing fullback pretty much permanently now. So we were a little light and may well have continued to have been. So I expect we're prepared to pay any additional fee to get that for the cover. But it is a long season and, the way we play it is hard work for the midfield. So really, I do expect Kelly to remain around the squad for the rest of the season.
Yep, agreed. We'll take a break there and hear about our sponsors, G&M Motors.
Hi, this is Jess Tuffield from G&M Motors. Operating from a modern and purpose-built facility in Milton Road, Gravesend, G&M Motors offers a complete range of new Honda cars and services. As well as new Hondas, we have an extensive range of used cars, including ex-Motability cars from a variety of manufacturers. Specialising in new Honda cars, G&M Motors has been retailing quality new and used vehicles to the people of Kent and South East London for over 4 decades. We have been a Honda dealership since 1972 and are the country's longest serving supplier of this renowned marque. Conveniently sited just 2 miles from the A2, 10 miles from the M25 and Dartford Crossing, visitors to our showroom are assured a warm welcome from our experienced and friendly staff. Our facilities include an on-site workshop capable of providing full vehicle servicing and repairs, as well as an extensive parts department offering genuine Honda parts and accessories. The expertise of our skilled mechanics is not limited to just Hondas, but extends to most makes and models of motor vehicles. Whatever your motoring needs, visit us at G&M Motors today. The newly extended hours of our G&M headquarters means that you can contact us from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Saturdays. To contact us, call us today on 01474 365 026.
Thank you, Jess. Debbie Julian's here. Don't forget to call Jess on 01474 813562. G&M Motors have been dear friends with the Julians family for over 4 decades now. From my dad Lenny to me, Debbie, Lions together.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the Millwall Lionesses talking team of Dave Hart, Phil Coleman and Steve Warren. Many thanks to our sponsor, G&M Motors. Why not go along, check the Hondas out and see what else they have on site at Gravesend. Our first guest is no stranger to the show and has been an incredible motivator in the operation and increasing success of the Millwall Community Trust. A Lions fan from a boy, he could not believe his luck in landing the CEO's job at the Trust. It is the one and only Sean Daly. Hello, Sean. You right, mate?
Yep, good evening, everyone. Hope you're well.
Evening, Sean.
Good evening. How's things?
All good here, mate.
Hi, Sean. Phil Coleman here.
Phil, how are you? You all right?
Yes, thanks. Great stuff.
Before I hand you over to the panel, we have a surprise for you, Sean. Our live maritime radio show will be unleashed on South London and North West Kent on one Saturday a month. It will deal with what's past and what's coming up. It will feature a guest, and most importantly, all advertisement breaks voiced by our own Bethany Maxwell. Support our Millwall Community Trust. How about that then, Sean?
No, it's brilliant. Thank you very much for all your support. It's been brilliant. Thank you.
Evening, Sean. It's Dave here.
Dave, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, mate. How yourself?
Yeah, very good.
Okay, I've just been reading that the Millwall Romans pulled off a coup with securing a sponsorship from the Romans. Some fans have been asking how they sponsored themselves. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yep, sure, no problem. So we got contacted early part of the season by a company called the Roman Agency, and they're very much into doing PR, commercial stuff, and they wanted to sponsor an LGB program. And when they heard that we had a football team that was called the Romans, they jumped on it straight away. They were very interested, so they came down to see us. They wanted to know what we did as an organisation around the LGBT community. They met the Romans, went to a couple of games, and decided that they'll sponsor the shirts on the kit. So it's actually now the Millwall kit, but we actually with the Romans on it. But they're a Roman agency, they are, so they're very good.
Oh, great, fantastic.
Hi, Sean. Phil here again.
Phil, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, apart from a broken rib, but that's another story. So, Sean, can I just say what a fantastic job the Trust does, and you're at the top of the tree, pushing and pulling, so well done for that.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
In the meantime, some fans have had further conspiracies about your appearance in Bromley, Sean. They wondered whether we were taking over South London or if Bromley had come in with a bid for you. So what brought you to appear at the Jack Petty Awards at the Churchill Theatre?
I'd love to take over Bromley, but I have a gentleman agreement with other football clubs that I won't go into their areas and do work. So I won't go into Greenwich and Bexley because that's Charlton's. I won't go into Bromley because it's Crystal Palace, as they won't come into Lewisham or Southwark. So, but no, Jack Petty, so they had their awards last week. And as everyone knows, that we have our own Power Chairs football team. Yeah. And some of their young people were nominated for awards from the Jack Petty. So I went down there to support them. They didn't know I was coming down anyway, but I went down there to support them and see their achievements on winning some awards. But it was a great night. It was loads of young people all over London receiving awards for their volunteering, just being involved in sport or education or employment. So it was a great night. It was a real good night to see some of these young people get awards. So, but no, I really enjoyed it. And it was really going down there to support the Power Chairs, They are Millwall, and I wanted to show that, we appreciate all the work that they do and what they've achieved.
That's brilliant, Sean. So much goes on with the Trust Power Chairs, and I get the Jack Petty Awards because obviously I was teaching for 33 years and we used to have Jack Petty Awards in our school, and it recognises the efforts, the participation and the volunteers, and it's absolutely brilliant that they get recognised.
It was a great night. It was a great night just to see all those young people all over London and then hear their stories. Yeah. Some of these young people, the stories they have and how they overachieve, what's going on in their life to get those sort of awards, and supporting siblings and family. It's just heartbreaking, some of it, but it was a great night. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Do you think I think Jack's passed away now. I think it will continue though. Is that right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, they did, because I think he passed away last year or early part of this year. But no, they will continue. That Trust and Foundation will continue in his memory. I think it's brilliant.
Can I just say I'm absolutely proud that I've got one.
Good lad.
Really,
well
really
done.
Hi Sean, it's Steve here.
Steve, how are you?
Not too bad, hope you're well.
Very well, thank you.
Well, while you were at the Churchill Fair, did you get offered a part in a panto by any chance?
No, I'm too busy at Christmas. I've got a Santa Dash I've got to organise, so I haven't got time for that.
Just turning to the football again, it's kids' half term is almost upon us. What is the Trust going to do for the young ones during the forthcoming half term break?
Always the same, it's probably not a downtime, but it's really a time that we only do one sort of programme. So we'll be offering camps all at St Paul's and at the Lions Centre, all over that half term. We haven't managed to get funding this time to offer them free, so we're doing it very low cost just to get young people just into both centres. But they'll be running camps at St Paul's, there'll be sports and football camps at St Paul's in Rotherhithe and at the Lions Centre.
Okay, well, look, obviously this is going out to a lot of people. If anybody can sort of pick up and do any help for you, would that be any use if anyone could sponsor it?
Yeah, we're looking for sponsors, volunteers, even if it is giveaways at extra food. I've got some people bringing in, some like packed lunches for the children and stuff like that. But if anyone wants to donate anything for the children, the Romans and Pride are starting a boot room, which is going to be a boot room where kids can borrow football boots for the holiday camps if they haven't got any football boots. So if anyone wants to donate football boots, it's going to go into our boot room. The children can borrow it for a week, a pair of nice football boots, and then give them back to us at the end of the week. We'll clean them up and then they'll be used for another holiday camp.
Oh, great.
We're just trying to make it as easy as we can for kids to access physical activity. If it's kit, training kit or boots or anything, if we can supply it, it makes it so much easier for them.
That's really great to hear that, Sean. Another accolade was unveiled before the Preston game. It's the Bronze Award for the EFL Equality Code of Practice. Can you tell us what we did to deserve that?
Yeah, sure. So about a year ago, we brought a new officer in called Jason Vincent. He was one of my trustees at the time. We managed to get some funding from the EFL to do to have an officer that looks at equality, diversity, and inclusion within all our work, to making sure that if we are doing free holiday camps, for instance, are we attracting the right people to it? Is it including everyone in it? Is it diverse? Because we've got a very diverse community. And Jason's come in and looked at all our programs, looked at our staff, does our staff reflect the local community? And he's done that across the club as well, to make sure that, if we're giving out tickets for games, for instance, are we hitting pots of the right community, the right people in our community? And we received an award from the EFL on the good work we've been doing around this. And really, it's just making sure that we can offer opportunities for everybody within our community. And that's what it's about, really. And they just nominated for us. We got the bronze award. There is 3 awards. There's bronze, silver and gold. So next year we'll go for silver. And it's just making sure that we are inclusive in everything we deliver from the club and the trust.
Yeah, I'm sure you're working towards that.
We will be, yep.
Sean, Phil again.
Hi, Phil.
The trust support for potential employment opportunities has been massive, and a new offering is stewarding taster session for the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham's local supported employment programme. So it's a bit of a mouthful. Can you explain how that arose? Is there anything more to come?
Yeah, so we held today a job fair at the Lions Centre. It's about the 4th one we've done. And it's open to everybody that's looking for employment, whether they're employment but looking for a new job or a new vacancy or something like that. So we ran one today. 400 people turned up, came down to the Lions Centre. We had loads of people from the job centre. We have lots of organisations that were looking for workers like construction, hospitality. And one of the things we picked up on is stewarding. So this has been in the pipeline for quite a while, Stewards are needed everywhere, not just football matches, but the concerts at the O2, at Hyde Park for the fun runs and something like that. So we were contacted by a stewarding company who said, would your young people be interested or in getting involved in stewarding? So we put a course on, but we thought it's important that you don't just put a course on for stewarding. It's best to speak to somebody that's involved in it. So Neil Robinson, who's the Health and Safety Officer at Millwall, did a talk with them. So we brought them down to the den and he explained what a day would be like being a steward. Because it's great doing the course and they tell you how to do things, but actually being there and saying, well, you've got to deal with someone who's looking for the refreshments or the toilets, or how do you deal with crowd problems and stuff like that. And that was it, really. And we're just trying to get young people into as many employment opportunities as we can, but we're trying to bring them alive. So if someone works in construction, we want to take them to a construction site to see what it's going to be like. If they want to get into stewarding, can we take them to a stadium to show what it's like? Not just they're sitting in a classroom and doing the course and then say, oh, I'm a steward now, and then they go to the ground and they don't know what to do.
Sean, was that going on at the Preston game?
Yeah, so there's bits and pieces. They're doing a bit of shadowing and having a look around and that sort of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I'll offer myself up to you, Sean, if you want, because when you say job fairs, I've attended a few, I've spoken at a few, because obviously I've had 2 good careers in terms of professional football and teaching PE. So if you're looking for somebody along those lines to come and talk to a few people about coming off a South East London council estate and being a footballer and getting a degree in teaching, I'm happy to come and share my story with you.
No, that's no problem. As soon as I get the next date, because we finished one today, as soon as I get the next date, I'll give you a shout straight away.
Yeah, it'd be great. Love to speak.
Because I think it's great to see, because people want to know about people's journeys. How did they get into that position and what they do to get there?
Absolutely.
And it must have been like you've gone through your career, you played football, and then all of a sudden it ends. Then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And it's that restarting again and retraining and all that sort of stuff. And that's what people need to know about, how they can do that. And it's not just they're stuck in a dead-end job for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I definitely struggled when I came out of football, but my journey was working hard, and eventually you get your rewards. And I've told it to secondary, college, and primary school a couple of months back. So more than help if I can sort of like inspire or just get somebody along the right track, it'd be worth the travel down.
No, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Sean.
Sean, as you mentioned earlier, Christmas is not far away, and the MCT Santa Dash is a must for some of our team. Can you provide us an update on the plans for the likes of Stan, Ted, Myles, and perhaps me, and maybe a few more who are getting prepared?
Yep, so the date was set. It went live today. It's going to be the 7th of December. It's before the Coventry game. It's 10 o'clock at the stadium. It's going to be a Santa and elf run. So there'll be Santa outfits and there'll be elf outfits. And the idea is that, and we'll have the Romans involved, we'll have the Lionesses involved. Local people will come and run it every year. And the idea is they would literally start off with the den, run round the pitch, out of the den, down to St Paul's at Rotherhithe, where we'll have the girls' football going on, the girls' Lionesses. So it's a nice gentle jog. It's all about fun. It's not about racing. It's just about having a fun day. Run down there, get a coffee or a hot chocolate, and then jog back to the stadium, round the stadium, so round the lap of the pitch, and then to finish to receive a medal. And we do it every year, and it's not about making money. It's not anything like that. It's just a fun run for families. It's just everyone getting together. You keep your elf outfit or your Santa outfit. We ask you to go and sit in your seat with your elf outfit on. But it's just a fun day for everyone to get together. And for us, it's just awareness about the trust. You know, this is what we do around the trust, and we'll go and present up at the exec lounge and that. But yeah, it's all set for the 7th of December. It went live today.
Okay, I'll get training.
Yeah, so would I, Sean, for my second year running.
I thought you had been training. I thought you'd been doing it all year. I thought you were out running all year. This is a professional run, this is. This isn't... It's just a great day. It's just, and especially when you've got the little kids dressed in the little elf outfits and that, and then you've got the adults dressed in everyone forgets about everything that day, everyone's just dressed up. The Romans, like last year, the Romans all ran as elves. It was so funny. But it's just a good day.
Sean, thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts and explanations as always, mate. Having you on the show, it's been an absolute pleasure. We look forward to talking with you in the not too distant future, well, towards the end of November.
Excellent.
But before we leave, we have Ted and Dave's new prediction league. Ted selected 3 fixtures for the forthcoming weekend, and they are Millwall versus Derby. Can I get your prediction, please?
I think we'll win 2-0.
And how about Luton versus Watford?
1-0.
And last but not least, how about Leeds and Sheffield United?
I reckon Leeds will win 1-0.
Sean, thank you very much, mate. Thank you for coming on.
No, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for all your time and all your support.
Yeah, cheers, Sean. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
cheers,
brilliant, Sean.
Bye.
Keep up the good work.
Cheers, Sean. See you in December.
We'll take a break there and hear from Harvey Brown, who talks about the Lions Food Hub.
Hi, Harvey Brown here. I am proud of the Lions Food Hub, which is jointly owned by Kelly and Ellen Webster, and they have been supporting families within our community for over 2 years on Millwall match days. If you would like to donate to them, they have a match day donation hub at the SE16 bar at Coleman Lane, end of the ground, where they accept any food or money and toiletry donations. If you can help, any donations will be received with thanks.
Well, I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the Millwall Lionesses talking team of Dave Hart, Phil Coleman and Steve Warren. Donations of food, household needs and monetary are always welcome and will make a difference to those struggling with food deprivation. Now, let's hear from Ellis Barr.
Hello, Ellis here, and I'm glad to be back talking about Millwall. I know many have watched my videos. Thanks for your support along the way. It is now time to hear what all the Millwall teams are up to. Come on, Millwall!
Thanks as always, Alice. Paul Loding gave us an update on the Romans and Pride from the weekend. Let's hear from Paul now.
Hi, it's Paul Loding with a quick update from the Millwall Romans. A couple of weeks ago, both teams were playing Charlton Addicts and Charlton Valiants, with Romans playing the Valiants at home at St Paul's. Charlton, obviously, was a good battle of a game, and they came out all guns blazing. Charlton, they're a big physical team. They do play the ball around quite nice. They're used to playing on 4G as well, but they couldn't seem to get past us, and we ended up finishing the game 5-2 after quite a feisty second half. So cracking result there from the Romans, which does leave us unbeaten in the league this season. The Pride team playing away against Valiants. Again, Valiants have really come on this season, playing some good football. Pride obviously attracted some good players as well. But they couldn't seem to break past them and ended up losing 2-0. The weekend's just gone. We joined the annual Titans tournament with a mixed team of Romans and Pride players. Played really, really well. We only conceded one game all tournament. However, unfortunately, we lost in the semi-finals to London Falcons. We held them all the way through the game, missing a penalty from John Goodyear in open play, but unfortunately, as I say, went through to penalties, and our penalties just weren't as good, unfortunately, so we ended up getting knocked out in the semi-finals. This weekend, Pride are on a break. Romans are playing in the London Unity League Cup in the first round against Barnstormers. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff over at Barnes Common. This week's fixtures, I think Millwall Derby, I think I'm going to say Millwall 1-0. Luton Watford, I think Watford might take that 1-0. And Leeds Sheffield United, I think that's going to be a 2-2 draw.
Thanks, Paul. Interestingly, the Romans are sitting in the penultimate bottom spot of their Fair Play League, only being propped by the Charlton Valiants. Jeff Burnige updates us on the Millwall Lionesses now.
Millwall Lionesses finally secured their first London and South East Regional League victory of the season, winning 2-1 at Sutton United's stadium at Chipstead FC. Manager Ted Jones stuck with the same starting 11 and substitutes, who drew 2-2 with the same opposition a week ago. They had led 2-0 last week, but dropped 2 points due to a stoppage time equaliser. They didn't want to repeat that, but they went into a 2-0 lead again in this game and scored in the 3rd minute when centre-back Sophie Chapman swept in Kira Watling's corner, and then on 15 minutes Chapman doubled the lead, on this occasion scoring with a firm header from Mia Lockett's corner. Sutton did get back into the game, and Millwall's young keeper Evie Thorne-Ford made a brilliant save on 28 minutes. On 31 minutes, however, Hannah Baptiste scored when a forward's far post header across goal found her in the 6-yard box. The Lionesses were on top in this half, and Chapman was denied a hat-trick with her header rebounding from the crossbar on 41 minutes. The second half was a little bit scrappier than the first on the heavy pitch, but Millwall looked likely to add to their lead. Scott Ford, however, was forced into another good save on 55 minutes. Former Sutton forward Chloe Francis and Florrie Winfield then came on for the Lionesses, followed by young winger Dejanay Bass, and that and 2 other changes were enough to secure the 3 points on the road.
Jeff, you're a legend for heading off to Sutton. Hopefully we'll hear back from you as well against the New Haven game. We'll also hear from Ted Jones very soon, and I won't steal his thunder. Let us look forward to this Sunday's away game against New Haven in the league. We're back at the Den on Saturday to face Derby. Rams boss Paul Warne brings his team to the Den in search of their first away win. Derby have won 4 of their last 5 matches at Pride Park this term. However, on their travels, it's been a completely different story. They've scored once on their travels since the opening day, which was a 3-2 defeat against Blackburn Rovers. Since then, they have lost to Watford, Sheffield United and Sunderland in the Championship, who have only registered 2 victories and currently sit 18th on 9 points. Derby are 3 points ahead of us and sit 12th. The pundits are raving over their new keeper, Zetterstrom, one of Derby's bargain signings of the summer, with the Swedish Gloveman keeping 3 clean sheets in 7 games. Former Lion loanee and Derby player Sam Parkin is backing a 0-0 draw for Saturday. With all I've said, what do we reckon, team? Phil, what do you reckon, mate?
If we have a fit squad, with subs that are able to come on and make a real impact. I was at the Preston game, and at 3-1, 3-0, we were comfortable and cruising. And I thought the subs came on and disrupted. But if they come on and finish a game off and impact in a positive way, given what Derby going through away from home, and I just saw that Preston game, we looked solid. We took our chances. I'm probably going to go for a big Millwall win, so I'm always positive. Let's have a 4-0.
4-0. Wow, you took me a while to realise what you said there. Well, what about Luton versus Watford?
I think Luton are going to have to pull something out the bag sooner or later. They've got the players, and they've just come down from the Premier League, and I can see what Luton 3-0. Absolutely, they've got to. Those players have got to pull their socks up, and at some stage they're going to hit somebody. And I think it may well be Saturday against Watford. It's a local derby, and it's a great time to put on a display in a local derby. So I'm going to go Luton 3-0. Leeds Sheffield United. Leeds at home, always strong. So I'll probably go 3-1 Leeds. So lots of goals for me for the home teams.
Yeah, goal fest in all them games. Dave, what about you?
Oh, right. Well, Millwall, I think, will win a nervy 2-1.
And how about Luton Watford?
Luton Watford, I'd go with a 2-0 to Luton.
And Leeds versus Sheffield United?
I'd go 1-1.
Fantastic. And how about you, Steve?
Well, I think it's going to be a nervy Millwall. I think coming back from the international break, I think we're going to win that 1-0, and I think Duncan's going to score.
Very, very specific. Luton versus Watford, please, mate.
Yeah, I don't rate Luton. I think even seeing them play us, so I'm going to go for Watford 3-1.
And what about Luton versus Sheffield United? Leeds versus Sheffield United.
Yeah, I think Sheffield United are going to win that 2-0.
Okay. So I'm going to go for Millwall versus Derby County 3-1. Luton versus Watford, I'm going to go 1-0 Luton. And Leeds versus Sheffield United, I'll go 2-1 Leeds. Finally, we have a prediction from Nick Wythe from the Millwall Sicily Facebook site.
Hello everyone, this is Nick Wythe. My predictions are Millwall 2, Derby 0, Luton 0, Watford 0, and Leeds 0, Sheffield United 1. Thanks very much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Nick. And thanks to Dave Hart, who collates these results. And don't forget, we welcome the Rooney Machine, Plymouth Argyle, to the Den on Wednesday at 7:45. Well, that was fun, with the added handicap of not being able to make the exact prediction as each other. Now it's time for Phil Coleman's Tales from the Root Room.
Hi, Phil Coleman here. For today's Tales from the Boot Room, I'm going to talk about Jack Blackman. In the 60s and 70s and early 80s, Jack was the club's physio, trainer and kit man. Jack was born in Burnige and was a goal-scoring striker for Crystal Palace and QPR before he joined Millwall in the 60s. He had a testimonial in 1971 and is in many team photos in the 60s and 70s. I remember Jack was always in his tracksuit. He was fit, strong, and he wasn't afraid to put us young players in our place, in no uncertain terms. He did his physio work every day with the injured players. He took them out and ran them up and down the terraces around the pitch, slapping the pitch and got them fit. And then he got on with his other jobs, putting the kit and boots together. He had a little room next to the home change room. And if you wanted Jack, you just shouted out, "Jack!" And his reply was always, "Hello!" I remember if he went down injured in a game, Jack would run on with a sponge in cold icy water that was in the bladder that he'd taken out of a football and just cut the top so the sponge and the cold water go in. Even if you were injured, say you injured your foot, he'd still put the sponge in the icy water down the back of your neck. I can remember a lot of players got up before Jack got to them. I remember one day I was injured and Jack was giving me what was then very new, some ultrasound. And as he was just massaging the injury with the ultrasound, after 5 minutes, he said, "How's that then, Phil?" I said, "Yeah, it's great." I said, "But it'd have been even better if you'd have turned it on at the switch." So we had a good laugh. Jack did so much unseen work at the Den. He dealt with the injuries and getting players back fit. He checked the apprentices in more ways than once. He checked their jobs. He used to pack the skips full of kit and boots for away games. He ordered kit, ordered the boots for players. They were great big wickerwork skips. And they had to be packed by the apprentices with everything for the players that had been selected to travel away. And they were always checked by Jack about 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. And I remember one day Jack went to check this skip, and as he opened it up, one of the young apprentices jumped out and gave him the fright of his life. Oh, the joys of working at the Den back then. Jack also made sure us young players had kit and boots. And as an apprentice, we were given what were called green flash trainers. But when we signed pro, the first place we went, we legged it down to Jack because we were then upgraded to Adidas Sambas. It was almost as if Adidas Sambas were a sign that we'd arrived as a pro. And he also made sure we got the new Adidas World Cup studs and the Copa Mundial boots. Jack loved telling stories, particularly from his playing days, and one stands out for me. As a striker, Jack took great pride being allowed to barge, in no uncertain terms, absolutely batter goalkeepers into the net once they caught the ball, as it would be given as a goal. Can you imagine that now? What a tough striker and a lovely person he was. Sadly, Jack passed away in 1987, but I'll never forget him, and I'm sure there's going to be many fans and ex-players and the people that worked around the Den back then who have got many more stories about Jack. He was one lovely bloke who did so much for the club, and I enjoyed working and being around him. Rest in peace, Jack. Great memories.
We'll take a break there and hear from Ellie from Harvey's Den Cafe.
Hi Ellie, lovely to see you here up in Harvey's Den again. And of course you've taken over from the Brown family. Cafe that they have here is just wonderful. Millwall shirts on the chairs, blue and white tablecloths, blue chairs, and all you guys in Millwall kit.
Of course.
Tell me, what goes on? When are you here? What can we expect?
We're here Monday to Friday from 10:30 till 5 every day, open to the public. Everyone's welcome. We're open every match day from 11:30 till 2:30. We've got a new family, a new little CAF team, and the girls up here are all lovely and friendly.
So who are the girls that are up here?
We've got myself, Ellie, of course, and then we've got Nicole, who works during the week. We've got Michelle, who also works during the week. She's lovely. And Lena, who works on a match day. And my mum, Ellen, who's very well known.
Very well known.
She also helps out in here from time to time. So we've got a lovely little family team.
To look after the community. Exactly. Wonderful stuff. So what's on offer at the cafe these days?
We've got everything from chicken burgers to paninis to full breakfasts, tea, coffee, hot chocolate, soft drinks, snacks, everything you could need.
So it's all here, all available, a great team to serve it up to you. Well, what else can I say but carry on in Harvey's style here at Harvey's Den Cafe, and all the best to you, Ellie, and your team, and I look forward to coming up and enjoying some of the fare in not the far distant future. Well, in fact, I've already done that. The coffee is just superb. Thanks, Ellie.
Thanks, Eamon.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the Millwall Lionesses talking team of Dave Hart, Phil Coleman and Steve Warren. It's open Monday to Friday and on match days. Why not pop in when you're passing and enjoy what's on offer? Our second guest is new to the show, but not to Millwall. He was recently the Millwall Lionesses under-18s manager, and now is the first team Lionesses manager. Let's say a big hello to Ted Jones.
Hi guys, how are we getting on?
Evening, Ted.
Hi Ted, Phil here.
Evening, how you guys been? Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Ted, it's great to have you join us, mate. Before I hand you over to the panel, could you tell us about your background in coaching?
Yeah, so I started coaching when I've been about 16, really. Always wanted to be involved, doing it alongside whilst playing. My main background was sort of started off in boys football, really, sort of working for Bromley, went to Dulwich Hamlet for a little bit, done a little bit nice to their first team, and then sort of it's just after COVID, really, sort of opportunity came about where Sean, the old head of the girls' academy, would put an advert out for Millwall Lionesses, and the guy I used to work with worked for Chelsea's academy with the with the girls, and always recommended it. So I thought, you know what, I'd been a Millwall fan, it'd be a really good opportunity. Started that just over 3 years ago, and then sort of gone from there. You know, had a lot of success with the under-18s, so had a couple of good years. A couple of seasons ago in particular, you know, doing a cup double, which I think again was history for the club. I think since it was reformed, the first senior trophy we won, and then really built from there. You know, it's been good being a part of the club, really enjoying it at the moment, and then obviously stepping into the first team this season, it's been all good. So yeah, it's been an exciting journey, and hopefully a lot more to come.
Hello, Ted. It's Dave here.
Hi, Dave.
You had a fantastic result against Sutton United last Sunday. Having drawn with them the previous week at St Paul's Sports Ground.
Yeah.
What was different about the game down at Chipstead and getting the first 3 points of the season on the road?
I think it was sort of having that belief. You know, I think sort of the second game we had, or the first game in the league, you know, coming back from 3-0 down to 3-3 against Ebbsfleet, it was a great result, and arguably could have gone and won that game. And then, you know, another good performance at home. You know, being 2-0 up at home to Sutton. Could have seen the game out, you know, we had a few chances, could have just been a little bit more clinical, you know. They pegged us back late, and I think the difference was going into this Sunday was just sort of the lessons we learnt, you know. We sort of learnt how to come back from 3 goals. We learnt, you know, yes, we got pipped back and they scored an equaliser the week before, but we held on for that point. And I think last week, we just had that belief about us. We had that fight. A lot of what we've spoken about in the last few weeks is sort of having that Millwallness about us, having that grittiness and that determination, and we really showed it. I mean, it was credited girls leading from the sort of second or third minute, and to hold a lead for 90 minutes at any level was really difficult. So we had to defend well, we had to dig in, and I think more than anything it was relief. You know, the players are a lot better than what our league position shows, and we are hopefully on an upward trajectory. So I think it was just getting that first win under our belts, you know, gives everyone a bit of confidence, a bit of relief, you know, it's the weight off our shoulders. And now, you know, we've got about, I think, 6-7 games before Christmas. We've hopefully got a good platform to build off of. But yeah, to be fair, the girls have been superb. It was a good performance. To be fair, probably played better in the Sutton game at home and the Ebbsfleet game away. You know, it was tough conditions. Sutton pushed us and worked hard, but you know what? We got what we deserved in the end. Yeah, the girls building a lot of confidence now. Training's been really good this week. You know, it's a long journey down to New Haven, so I think we definitely want to travel down there, a long old journey, and come back with 3 points. You know, it's going to be a tough game. They picked up their first game of the season, and, you know, if we want to start picking up some points and pushing higher up the league, these are the type of games we've got to win. So there is a bit of pressure to go and win, but the girls are more than capable. You know, their attitude in training has been great, attitude in matches has been great, and the main thing is they're really loving and enjoying their football. So from that perspective, we're really happy with how things are going. And yeah, we've got, as I said, 6-7 games until Christmas. We're hoping to put a good run in. So that coming the new year, we've got a real good position to be in the league. And then when we have the likes of, you know, Fulham, Dartford, Ebbsfleet coming to St Paul's, we're in a real good position and confident to go and get some points of them as well.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll get some more support down at St Paul's.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? The first couple of games we've had at home, the support's been really good, you know. One of the things I spoke about, you know, taking in the job is we want to really work with the community. You know, the girls are quite on board with it, you know, getting down to some half-term camps, getting down to some primary schools. It's really important for us, you know, support makes a massive difference. So, yeah, anybody that has come down, we really appreciate it and we hope it can continue.
That's brilliant, Ted. It's Phil Coleman here. Welcome again.
Cheers,
along with yourself, Ted, who are the staff members who support you and the Lionesses? Can you tell us a bit about their roles and what they do to help the players and yourself?
Yes, at the moment it's myself and Jack Wilson who are working out first team. We've hopefully got a couple coaches joining us this week. Nothing's been confirmed, but we should have a goalkeeper coach coming in and another first team coach. So some more bodies in and around the squad. We've got Harris, who's done some work with the academy. He's a UCFB student. He's doing some analysis, which, you know, is really, really important for us at the moment. You know, being able to give the girls a plan, a match plan, you know, go get some reports and for other teams has been really important. So Harris does some work with us. We've got Emma, who's physio for the team, but also does on a Monday night some recovery, some yoga, rehabilitation for the girls, just as important to make sure they're fit and prepared for games. And then Kai helps us out with the media side of things. So got a real good team. We're looking to bring a few more people in, and I think once we've got that settled staff, which I think we're probably only about a few days, hopefully by the start of next week, the coaching team will be finalised and sorted. We'd then be in a good position to kick on. But, everyone's been really brilliant. Jason, who is sort of the girls' manager or the head of women's football, has been brilliant. Has been really supportive, at every training session, every game, anything which we've asked for, he's been really supportive, And also the girls' academy has been brilliant. So, yeah, a good team we've got around us and hopefully going in the right direction.
That's brilliant. Does it take the pressure off you a little bit, knowing you can trust them and just get on with those little roles?
Yeah, definitely. It's been tough, sort of trying to manage the day-to-day life, make sure we give 100% to the girls and to the team has been really difficult. But, we've got a good team around us. Everyone's all hands on deck, and it's starting to make a real difference. I think hopefully the squad is starting to feel the difference. We're noticing the difference certainly in their sort of attitude at training, and not that their attitude's ever been in question, but how hard they work in training, the smiles on their faces, and it just feels like we're in a real good place at the moment, and staff have been brilliant, and we're going in the right direction as a club.
That's brilliant. Sounds really positive, Ted.
Ted, it's Steve here.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, good to speak to you. Can I ask, how's it been for you personally since you took over, kind of stepping up from the under-18 to the first team? What's the difference been for you?
I'd say the difference, obviously, sort of first team, we're looking to pick up points. One of the things I presented to the club sort of when I became interested in the role was that, we have a 3-year plan, which we're looking at, to try and get us up into a position where we want to be. We want to start bringing as many young players through from the academy, pushing into the first team. So it's been a new environment in terms of getting to know the girls. I've always been sort of watching from afar, and it's, I think, a role which I always wanted to be interested in. It's been good, being able to speak to a few different managers in the league, a few managers tiers above, to get an insight of the league, insight about some players, insight some teams. And, it has been exciting. It's been really enjoyable because, the girls, we can't fault, have been superb. They've given us everything, which obviously makes our life a little bit easier because it's a pleasure coming to train in the matches. Obviously, it's got its challenges in terms of the teams we're playing. Every team in the league is a really good side, so they're testing us week in, week out. But, we have got some quality too, so it has been tough, but really enjoyable so far, and I do think we're going in the right direction. We're hopefully, bringing a few more faces into the team. I think a little bit of energy, some fresh faces, some fresh voices always helps and improves our competition. So hopefully, I think within the next week or two, they'll be done and we'll be able to announce some players coming in, which will boost us and push us in the right direction. Sort of the way which we want to play has been sort of similar to how we've been at under 18s. We had a good relationship with the first team, training together on a Monday, playing against each other. So the girls have got to know me a little bit. I got to know them a little bit. But yeah, it's been a real good start. I can't really complain at the moment. I'll just hope we keep going, which I'm sure we will, and we get back to where we want to be.
Well, it's really good to hear.
Fantastic, Ted. Well, before you leave us, mate, we've got a prediction league for you that we do. So could I get the predictions from first of all, Millwall versus Derby, please?
I'd like to think we should be beating Derby at home, but we never make it easy as a club, so I'll go 2-1 Millwall.
And what about Luton versus Watford?
Watford have started pretty well, do you know what I mean? In the first game of the season, I thought they were a good side, so I'm going to go... Luton have had a little bit of comeback. I'm going to go 3-1 Watford.
Okay. And how about Leeds versus Sheffield United?
Oh, big game. I reckon 0-0. I think it's got a good game, good quality players, but yeah, I reckon they'll cancel each other out. I'm going to go for a 0-0.
Nice one. Ted, thank you very much for joining us. All the best to you and yourself and the Lionesses. And we look forward to getting you on our show again throughout the season.
Cheers, brilliant guys. Appreciate it. All the best.
All the best, Ted.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, Ted.
Cheers, Ted.
Cheers.
We'll take a break there and listen to Bethany explain how you can help and support the Millwall Community Trust.
The Millwall Community Trust is something that I, Bethany Manctalo, admire for all that it does. The Trust was established in 1985 to provide sporting, educational, social and healthy lifestyle opportunities to the local community in Southwark, Lewisham, North Kent and the wider community. Its work is targeted at people of all ages, irrespective of race, gender or sexual orientation, and runs programmes aimed at tackling social exclusion, racism, knife crime, lack of employment opportunities for young people, mental health and disability. The Trust aims to be a progressive and campaigning charity that makes a difference to ordinary people's lives. Its work is undeniably essential to the local community. Donating to the Millwall Community Trust is easy. Visit their website and click on the Get Involved section. There are also sponsorship opportunities. To support this work, email commercial@millwallcommunity.org.uk. I'll say that again. That's commercial@millwallcommunity.org.uk. If you can, please help them to continue their vital work.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me are the Millwall Lionesses talking team of Dave Hart, Phil Coleman and Steve Warren. If you can donate, you'll help our Millwall Community Trust to deliver all of their programmes across all age groups to people within our community. We're all looking forward to the next game, but in the meantime, here are a few matters of interest for Millwall fans and all those interested in football.
Millwall Community Trust has facilities to hire at the Lions Centre. Our main office is adjacent to the Den and St Paul's Sports Ground in Wythe. The Lions Centre has a sports hall and an AstroTurf pitch. Both can be hired, whether for sports and recreation activities or family events. St Paul's Sports Ground is open to anyone seeking a state-of-the-art football venue in a safe and positive environment. For booking inquiries, don't hesitate to contact Millwall Community Trust on 020 77 40 0503.
Next week, George will be back again, hosting Ted Robinson, Stan Godwin and Gary Staff. Be sure to tune in for more laughs, gossip and discussion before the Lions face Swansea City across the Welsh border on Saturday the 26th of October, 3pm kickoff.
The Lionesses will make their first league trip to New Haven to face the Dockers this Sunday at Fort Road Recreation Ground, New Haven, BN9 9DL, with a 1pm kickoff. Why not head down to the game, which is right beside the New Haven ferry port, and give the Lionesses the edge with your support and help them return to where they belong.
Don't forget you'll be able to listen to the Millwall Lionesses talking team bring reports from our games, both home and away, for the Lions, Lionesses, Romans and Pride, and also updates on Millwall Community Matters on Maritime Radio, broadcasting on 96.5 FM. Additionally, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook and X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr and all popular podcast sites. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Myles. Thanks, team.
And thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Myles. Thanks, team.
And thank you all for listening. Finally, let's not forget to keep it safe on the streets out there. Good night.
Our Millwall Fan Show is sponsored by G&M Motors of Gravesend, Honda dealers and much more. Thank you.